Oh, hi, it's Jean Tuitt. I'm just saying hi to everybody. We are in day 24 of the moving on from St. Valentine's Day to St. Patrick's Day challenge. And it's only like 6 more days now till St. Patrick's Day. And I won a little contest. I'll tell you more about that when I get my little prize. Actually, 2 little prizes. And, one's a bigger prize and then I'll have money to go out for St. Patty's Day, and then a T-shirt. But I'll tell you more details about it after I get it. But I work kind of hard for it. So, but now I'm in the habit of posting every day for you guys. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about confidence and faith. You know, we need to have confidence and faith in everything will work out, but that we will have challenges. That's just the way life is. It's just, the world isn't perfect. Supposedly, if you believe in heaven and all that, it'll be perfect someday there, but this is all challenging at times. But if everything was perfect all the time and there weren't any challenges, I don't know, maybe would we get bored? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But we have to, I think it's important to have things to work towards and to have goals and things to work towards, because you hear about these people that like win the lottery or something like that, or, all of a sudden they're making like a lot more money. I mean, when I say a lot of money, I mean, whatever. It's all relative. For me, I just need more money to make bills and pay for food and such, I mean, everybody's pressing it. I do need to lose some weight, though, 30 or 40 pounds, but I still have to eat. I mean, when you're older, you have to eat. You can't just starve. And even when you're young, you can't do it either. But when people are, like, really young, like in their 20s sometimes, you can't do it when you're a teenager, but people in their 20s or 30s can do super strict diets and drink a lot of water. But when you're older, you do have to have a certain amount of food, and healthy food too. You have to really budget. But I wanted to talk today quickly about self-confidence and faith, and I'm always trying to listen to more videos. I did a lot of that when I was full-time in commission sales too. Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, all those people, and then, in more recent years I've listened to Aaron Doughty, Victor Odo, Matt Schaefer, Angela Shelton is very good on a lot of this stuff, and she's helped me heal a lot. And then DoDash has the YouTube challenge. She's really very excited and motivating, to really, reach out to everybody, and she tells people, just what's going on in their life, and you could do that too, and maybe that'll help you, whoever you are. My subscribers, and I thank you for subscribing, and I want to remind people it is free to subscribe on here. But anyway, and I can offer you maybe some free acting classes at first, like one session, and then after that just charge minimal, like $25 an hour or something. But the confidence and the faith thing are important, whether you're going out for a new job, just interviewing for jobs are very competitive right now, especially if you're trying to change careers, or if you had to change careers because your industry was downsized or changed, or, everybody's concerned about, everything with AI and the, downsizing, and you have to really believe that when you go for an interview that just accept if it doesn't click with you and the person offering you the job, you're not resonating with that job. And the same thing will go for relationships, and like if you're romantic relationships or friendships, or all kinds of situations, with work or career or side gigs, or trying, deciding where to live, where you can afford, what you can't afford, what you can, and I'm working on a positive mindset because I spent most of my life saying things like, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, well, because I was raised old-fashioned to believe, even though I've been a career woman all my life, it's so ironic, and mostly worked all my life, just kind of to stay afloat. I never really believed that I could make a lot of money because of being a woman, and that I would have to find a man to blah blah blah. But we need all that for companionship and other reasons, and gets into a whole nother thing about self-esteem and everything. But this is right now just about money and making money as a woman, or even some men have a problem with their confidence too. I guess it's not easy, but I think my background in sales, and then when I caught the acting bug 20 years ago too, all that taught me is sometimes the old expression, God's rejection can be God's protection, and if you, depending on your beliefs, it could also just mean too that maybe sometimes you just don't resonate with that situation, and just keep going, keep moving on to the next situation. And right now, jobs are not necessarily permanent either. It's great when you find something where you really fit in with everything, and it's the perfect job for you and your personality and your skill set and all that stuff. But sometimes right now, people are just getting regular, side hustle jobs or part-time jobs, that oftentimes maybe high school or college kids get, or younger people. But then the younger people sometimes are going after the bigger corporate jobs, which once you get past 40s, it's harder to get those jobs because they want people who are younger or faster or whatever. But, it all depends on, if the employer values you or not. And, if they don't, and they don't appreciate you, you can only do so much. Now, you can use a certain amount of sales skill to try to convince them that you are the right person for that job. But beyond a certain level, or beyond a certain point, you have to really just realize that they might be just set on this kind of person that they want. They want a person of a certain age, whether they want someone that went to a public university or Ivy League schools, or whether they don't, that doesn't matter. You don't have to have college. They're looking more for experience or personality, or, it gets into a lot of different things, but you just can't take it personal. And I guess I've had so much of that. I kind of got used to that. We were raised kind of like that. My parents had a business, but it was kind of sometimes it was constructive criticism, but oftentimes, unfortunately, was not. But it did make me very tough for this world. There's going to be a lot of rejection in this world, and not everybody's going to like you or whatever. And, sometimes, regardless of whether you're a nice person or whether you're winning or not, or you're struggling or not, people will just find fault. So just all you can do is just depend on yourself and keep going. But you will find your tribe and your people to be around. And then sometimes as you grow and change, you might need a different environment. So just accept whatever's going on and just work on it. A lot of people are just having to step up their game plan to make more money, now. And I'm older, but I don't mind. A lot of people my age are totally retired and set and everything, but I have to work a lot more and try to get more extra work to supplement. But I don't mind doing that because I like staying busy. I like working. I like staying busy. Because I don't have a husband or children, I like the challenge of being busy, And I enjoy acting a lot. I enjoy that. The reason I stay in acting, a lot of people say, well, you only periodically get a small role making a small amount of money, and, you've put so much in time and energy and effort, and, even money by classes over the years into it and everything. But, I enjoy it. It's one of the few jobs I've ever had when I do book the acting role, that I really enjoy that. I enjoy being a different, kind of a little bit of a different character from myself, or being a different version of myself. I was raised in an environment where I was often told as the only girl, the only daughter, the only, women are to be seen and not heard, and that type of thing. And I just enjoy it. I enjoy making the characters. And a lot of jobs, are kind of not very fun, But then on the other hand, I've had jobs that are kind of just more dogmatic and everything. And sometimes that's good too, because it gives you like a structure. And you get a set salary. It may be a low salary, but it's not like the pressure of going out on making sales on a commission like with insurance. And but if you become very knowledgeable about insurance, which I've had to do at various different jobs, or when I've had different appointments with different insurance companies, I never made a lot of money doing it, but I was able to stay afloat doing it. And there were times when I had some pretty decent customers and everything, as far as the, commissions were higher. But basically, when you have a lot of knowledge on something, you do kind of get that respect, which is nice. And I have gotten that kind of respect too sometimes when I was a substitute teacher, when I would talk about my other jobs and careers. But when I would just go in there and just do the lesson plan, the kids might harass me and say, why aren't you a regular teacher, and why don't you get a real job, and all that type of thing. And I've had people, even when I was an editor of a newspaper years ago, a small one, not making much money either, doing that years ago. But I worked a lot, long hours, but I enjoyed it, and so I didn't mind. And but people would say, because it was a small paper and it was not the big time, why don't you get a real job? I've had friends of different people say, you're never going to be like, and I'm not even going to mention top actors' names that have been doing acting since they were like in their 20s. And I did it when I was younger as an amateur, but I didn't go after professional acting until my 40s, quite some time ago already. So, why I would continue with that, I may never achieve to that level. But, most people, when they're saying that level of success, they're talking about financial gain, which we need that to pay the bills. And, that would be nice. And I have the confidence that if I do book a better role, I think I could pull it off and make some money with the film, and even if it was a better role, I think I could do it. I mean, at my age and everything, it's mostly the fact that I would be considered for these smaller roles, which I've gotten really small roles in low budget films. But I have auditioned for a few better roles, but I haven't gotten anything of that higher level. But I know, with all my background and training, I know that I could do a good job, especially if I'm working with other actors that are at a higher level. It's kind of like playing tennis with people that are like a little bit better than you. It makes you step up your game. But anyway, I guess all these different things teach you how to deal with, the ups and downs of the rejection, and then you have to have faith that it'll work out too. And trusting. Everything happens really fast nowadays, and everybody's using so many different, apps and devices, and there's scammers out there that will make crazy phone calls and ask you crazy things and say they're with so-and-so and they're with, all your different, you know the drill. So most of you have had these experiences. So, and then when you do decide to start answering your phone, you think, well, this is why I never answer my phone, But at the end of the day, when you do have a real appointment to go on and dealing with a real situation, it is best to talk to somebody on the phone and meet them in person, and preferably, because, with the texting or emailing or these social media imposters, you don't know for sure who they are. But there are legitimate people that use online in a very good way and are successful doing that. It's unfortunate that the imposters have messed a lot of that up for some people. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to everybody out there who is, which I think that would be most people, are challenged in some way by this whole, I don't want to say recession, but it could be, But it's been going on, I think, as a low grade version of it for several years, actually. That's been my experience. But it depends on a lot of different things. So anyway, but that's all. I just wanted to talk about that because I was thinking about, that and your mindset, how your mindset and how you think can impact a lot of stuff, all the childhood drama and trauma, affects it all too. But we reach a certain point where you have to think, how am I interacting with all this, and how are my feelings affecting this? And sometimes you just have to take a risk and go for new work or whatever you want to do. And sometimes you get tired of certain jobs and careers, but oftentimes it just gets to a point where those jobs have been eliminated, or for whatever reason, and mostly economic and a variety of other things. So you kind of have to move on anyway. So that's all. I just wanted to talk about that and how you can't. I guess you just can't take it personal, like from the famous movie. It's not personal; it's a business. And then, like my grandmother used to always say about different jobs that I had over the years, and she was really good. She worked in various offices and everything, and she used to say, "Well, it's all good experience," which is true. And if you're good with people, and actually at the end of the day, you do have to get good at sitting down and talking over things with somebody. And sometimes it's a different skill set to sit down and talk to a friend, or or a romantic relationship, or just someone you're dating, or somebody like that, than it would be, say, a prospective employer or a present employer or a business associate or somebody like that. So it's all a different skill set, and but you do have to level up. And I was listening, like I said, I've taken classes from Dewan Johnson before, the actor that was in Bosch, but he's been in a number of other things, and he's in a new show now. But he has his 3-day summit going on that's free, and but you can always get on his email list, and he's always giving back to actors. He's doing kind of like what Zig Ziglar always used to say: if you help other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And I kind of feel that that's really a good thing, because I was trying to sort of give some advice and just counsel, or give some consoling advice to a friend of mine's son that's looking for a new job. And then I won this little contest, but with some other people. I'll tell you more about it next time. I have to go through all the kinks to get my little prizes. But, that helped, and I stayed with that, and did that. But also, like he said in one of his videos, that Dwayne Johnson said, what got you here is not going to get you there. In other words, when you're trying to level up, you kind of have to constantly work on new skill sets. And you have to constantly evolve and change and grow. And I know, I like listening to Kyle Cease too. He's awesome. He's talking about evolving out loud. But you do have to, and sometimes you have to sit and be quiet, and which can be challenging for me sometimes, but just sit and be quiet and pray and meditate, and the answers can come, to you. And sometimes when you're in a state of crisis management, it's just not helping. So you're just like spinning wheels. And, there are always going to be people making mistakes about, like if you're trying to get a cheaper rate on your auto insurance. And, I had a recent experience, and then next thing you know, both, I'm like switching to a lower one, and then both premiums went through, and then I had to now I had to go to a bunch of hoops to fix it. It reminded me of when I did full-time insurance for people, helping them with their, they added the mortgage company and, all the stuff, which, I'm open to doing that again, but that's a whole other thing. I really think I'd rather work in somebody else's office doing that, I think. But I'm sort of, I keep myself open because I am older and there's a lot of judgment, But, I really just want to be a full-time actress, but that's not easy to do at my age or even if you're younger, but it's not impossible. But even if you have that going, like you book a regular gig for a while, then all of a sudden, even the big stars, they book a big role, and that must be a really, really kind of depleting at first, because if they book something big, it must be really exciting, and then they're on set every day, really, especially if it's a role they really are into and it's challenging, and they can really get into that character. And then all of a sudden, finally the filming finally ends, and then they get to, I'm sure at first they're like happy to get a break and can rest and, get caught up on the rest of their life. However, then they have to sort of hurry up and wait for the next big role, and it's just like that, and that's the way life is. And I guess that's kind of how it is too. If we still haven't given up hope on finding Mr. Right, which originally I had started, part of my challenge was with this other challenge that I won one of the little prizes at, which I can go into another day, but from St. Valentine's Day to St. Patrick's Day. So moving on from that day of love to hopefully luck and love, or, moving forward. So anyway, okay guys, well, Jean Tuitt over and out, and have a great day, okay? Bye.